Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. What you guys see behind me right now is a, well, very surprise update from Infinity Ward. Usually we don't get updates or previews or reveals on Saturday, but lo and behold, here we are. Today, Infinity Ward just released a huge blog detailing even more updates and changes to DMZ with some very interesting information when it comes down to it. So let's dive into this blog. We are thrilled to have debuted DMZ this week with streamers and creators at the IW studio. Here's what players can expect from DMZ. It's a dangerous, diverse, and deep open world experience where players can choose their level of intensity. Even in its earliest forms, the DMZ experience is built for the most hardcore completionist with faction missions, contracts, world events, stocking up the stash, helping out other squads or causing chaos, breaking open locked areas, and much more. So that in and of itself details a lot more than what we saw most of the streamers and creators experience back when they played it earlier on this week. Admittedly, I think that most of those streamers and creators went into it playing it like a battle royale, not so much like a looter shooter like DMZ. So we didn't really get to see the full DMZ experience, if you will. But this, with the world events being more impactful, with faction missions being more of a driving force for gameplay, it's not going to be you drop in and it's like plunders slash, you know, battle royale where you just want to loot guns and go for enemy squads. You actually have real meaningful objectives. All skill levels can choose their way to play and win. The goal is to loot up and get out alive. It's about exploring the active world, completing missions and objectives, and exfiltrating with loot, cash, and valuables. The thing is, when you do extract, you're not really gaining much, in my opinion. I think Wildcat had a really good tweet about it, how it doesn't seem like there's necessarily huge end goals. In my opinion, with DMZ, if you were to have, you know, let's say an ultimate universal camo that costs $2 million, there'd be a lot more meaning to extracting with high value loot, whereas now it just is something you can take into your next game. So that's something, in my opinion, could be worked on, but we'll see as we continue reading on through here. DMZ involves keeping a stash or an inventory of weapons and other valuable items that you get out of the exclusion zone. Players will start with a small inventory of free contraband weapons, and then slowly but surely you'll build up as you find more in game. It's about customizing weapons, so we still want to bring those creations into DMZ. At first, you'll have one insured weapon slot, as we saw when we broke down gameplay. Additional insured weapon slots can be earned by leveling up the factions. For those looking for an alternate path to unlocking weapons and traditional weapon XP through matches, you should be excited for infills. Acquiring a weapon will unlock the base weapon and gunsmith, usable in multiplayer and battle royale. So that is really interesting. You're able to actually unlock guns if you find them in DMZ. If you lose an insured weapon, insurance takes time unless you're willing to pay the right price. Extracted cash and valuables speed up the cooldown on those slots, so that's interesting. Your stash also contains certain items taken out of the exclusion zone, which can then be put into your loadout and backpack for the next infiltration. We've talked about that already. If your backpack fills up during a match, you can visit one of 6 dead drop locations in game to stash items as well, so that's also very interesting. Basically, we're seeing a lot more in-depth details here versus what the actual gameplay showed. Again, I think just because of how it was being played. So we get some art for DMZ here. It is launching as a beta. This is very important because this means DMZ is going to get a lot more updates than Warzone 2 and MW2 because they can do so via it being a beta. With a gone gold game like MW2, you can only push so many updates live. Beta in gaming is sort of a loophole into pushing as many different updates in, you know, a certain period of time as you want, which is really crucial. It's a trios based mode with the option to play as a solo or a duo by disabling squad fill, so no like one-on-one solos. That's kind of unfortunate, I won't lie. To teach you how to play, you'll be able to accept faction missions. Those are from the world's most powerful PMC groups, so you'll want to go through and actually do those faction missions to unlock more gameplay content. Essentially, by completing a certain number of faction missions, you can advance those tiers. Those missions offer significant challenges with extra unique rewards, so that's also very important. Players will infiltrate with the chosen loadout, insured or contraband, or they can bring nothing at all. Sometimes you just have your fists, and if you want to go in like that, you can do so. No two matches will basically be the same. To get more items, players will have to extract, obviously. This will provide an experience for players to complete a supply run as an example. In addition to the backpack, players can exfil with the world with their on-soldier items, so anything you're carrying on your person also exfils. That's pretty basic. Within the exclusion zone, this is a very important part of the blog, folks, which as we get into this, by the way, if you guys are new here, every single day. I got you covered with news, updates, class setups, tips. Everything you need to know about Call of Duty is right here on the channel. And around 54% of viewers watching are not already subscribed. So if you want to guarantee you're always up to date, join us on the road to 900,000 subs. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. Also, we're only 20,000 subs away from 900K. It would be insane if we could get super close to that milestone by the time DMZ and Warzone 2 arrive. Also, if you guys enjoyed this video, a like rating would be seriously appreciated. Let's try and aim for 3,000 likes on this one. Y'all have been crushing it with the support. I seriously do appreciate it. But let's talk the other gameplay details within the exclusion zone. Other than completing the objectives laid out, players are also free to explore to collect more optional assignments. These can be completing contracts such as rescuing a hostage, taking down a target, activating a SAM turret or a UAV. Like Warzone 2, players can expect logical looting items that exist in Al Mazrah in places they may exist in the real world, such as medical supplies in a bathroom, a cabinet, or hospital. Police stations or military outposts contain more gear. I like that sort of realistic factor to it. There are only a few limits to where you can explore Al Mazrah. Locked places, which are special areas, require keys. We saw that with the strongholds. Al Mazrah will not have a circle collapse, but you have to monitor radiation as well as the occasional sandstorm, so you have to be mindful of that. That can take you out. Again, there's no definitive path to victory here. You are responsible for mapping your own success with plenty of rewards for your efforts. Double XP tokens, calling cards, weapon charms, and other cosmetics. Double XP tokens is the main thing we're looking for there. So there are actual gameplay rewards here. Again, I think we need something super important, like a big end goal with camos or something universal like that, which I think we're getting to here, but there needs to be something grindable, something you want to go in time and time again and add a replayability factor here. Finally, the ultimate reward, the M13B assault rifle. This functional weapon is a part of the Bruin Ops platform along with the BAS-P. It can be yours to use across MW2 or Warzone 2. So here's where things are confusing. The blog, and we have a season 1 weapons video dropping probably early next week talking about how these weapons all are going to be unlocked via a store bundle or a weapon challenge. The weapon challenges have not been revealed yet, but this seems to indicate you can actually unlock the M13B just by playing DMZ, which is very interesting. I assume multiplayer in Warzone will also have separate challenges for this because not everyone wants to play DMZ. It'd be very, I would say dumb of them to just lock it behind this specific mode unless they're just trying to force players to play it. But the M13B will be unlockable here if you find that in game, I guess, which is very, very interesting. Winning is determined by players' choices, but ultimately exfilling is your main objective. Part of DMZ's design is to make every match matter. Anything you get in DMZ that's in your loadout or backpack is lost upon death. Players can still be revived by their squad mates, but if everyone drops, all the loot goes too. You just got to make sure you get stuff to your stash. Now, this is also a very important ending here to the blog. We've built a massive living world in Al Mazrah with challenging enemies, a deep mission system, side quests, secrets, and more. We look forward to, updating things in new ways as we work towards new uses for cash and items. That's huge. That means they are looking towards more of an end goal. That's very, very big for this mode. Also, DMZ does not set out to replicate, and we can't wait to see how it plays. We hope players will share their adventures with us as well as their experiences. So just a little thank you note or whatever, but some pretty big details here in terms of there actually being true missions and true objectives outside of looting and shooting, actual rewards with certain things here and there. Apparently, you're able to unlock DLC weapons, including the M13B, which I'm very curious to learn more about, and there's going to be some larger end goals updated eventually. So some very solid news here for DMZ. That all being said, that's going to wrap things up for this one. If you guys enjoyed, let me know by dropping a like on it, and if you're new to the channel, feel free to hit that subscribe button, turn on those post noties. That way you can always guarantee you're up to date. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.